Hello everyone, welcome back to Valaxy Technologies. My name is Shankar. I'm a AWS and DevOps instructor over here. In this video, we are going to see DevOps CI/CD pipeline setup. We have already seen the similar kind of video previously, that is simple CI/CD pipeline setup for DevOps. What we are going to do in this video is, to addition to that, we are going to introduce Ansible as a deployment tool over here. In our previous video, we have seen how to set up the Jenkins and Tomcat server and deploying our WAR file by using the Jenkins itself. I mean to say build and deploy. In this video, build will happen in Jenkins and deploy can happen through the Ansible. Why? Because we cannot able to do the deployment in some of the complex environments. That's why we should go with some of the external deployment tools. If we recap what we have done in our previous lab, our previous video is, let me go back to that. This is what we have done in our previous video. If you haven't followed our previous video or you are watching this video first time, please go through with that video, complete that lab and come back here, because this video is continuation for our previous video. I am assuming that the previous infrastructure is available. On top of that one, I am going to add the today's infrastructure. So this is what we have done in our previous lab or previous video, where developers has checked in their code onto Git. Jenkins is going to take that code, build, and then going to deploy it onto Tomcat server. But in today's video, we are introducing Ansible, where developers check in their code onto Git. Jenkins will take and build that code. Whatever build artifacts we got, it will give it to the Ansible. Ansible is going to deploy it into the Tomcat server. We are assuming that Tomcat is running on a VM. For this, we need to follow these steps. As I said, the lab setup was created for the simple DevOps project for CI/CD should be available. And you should follow the how to install and configure the Ansible, which is already available in our channel. I have already set up my Ansible server. What we are going to do in this video is, we are going to enable passwordless authentication in between Ansible to Tomcat server. This is one step we are going to do. I will create a user called ANS admin on the Ansible server as well as the Tomcat server, because we are going to deploy on Tomcat server through Ansible. So passwordless authentication must be available. And we are going to install publish over SSH plugin on Jenkins, and also we need to configure it. I hope you are already aware how to install plugins and configure it. And we have to write a simple YAML playbook to deploy the jar or WAR file onto the target system. Again, this playbook is going to be initiated by the Jenkins itself. So everything will be triggered by the Jenkins, but the tasks will be running on the different systems. That is how the real-time infrastructure configured. Once we have installed publish over SSH and our playbooks are available, we are going to modify the existing job which I created in the previous video. Same job I'm going to modify according to the current infrastructure. Once we have done that one, we are just going to trigger the job. It should initiate and the deployment should happen. And if we change the code also, after changing the code, again, if we trigger a job, it should get deployed the latest code. Hope you understood what we are going to do. With that, let's go and do it. I'm just jumping into my AWS console right now. This is my AWS console where I have 3 servers, that is Jenkins server, Tomcat server, and Ansible server. I'm just going to log into my Jenkins server. This is my Jenkins server, and this is the dashboard where we have 2 jobs. This is what I was talking. This is my previous job. I haven't changed anything, and just to show you the configuration of this job, it is going to pull the code from the hello world.git. This is my repository which is there in the Valaxy tech. Once it is pulled from the master branch, it is going to create the package. Once package is created, it is going to deploy into the target system. But here I'm not going to deploy through the Jenkins job. I'm going to deploy through the Ansible. So I'm going to remove this and add additional steps. Anyway, let it be. And this is the code where we are having. We need to modify. If we modify, it will get deployed it into the Tomcat. And our Jenkins server is running on 8080. And if this is the our Tomcat server, the IP address 199 ends with 199. If you see, this is the Tomcat server. So Tomcat server currently up and running, and the code whatever is deployed is latest code whatever is there in our Git server. And we have one more server, that is Ansible server. This is what I have set it up already. If you don't know, please follow the video which is blinking right side corner of this video right now. You can go and set it up entire stuff. So I'm just logging into Ansible because we have to complete one first step, that is enable the create a user and enable the passwordless authentication in between the Ansible server and Tomcat server. So first I'm logging into my Ansible system. Once logged in, I'm creating a user called ANS admin. Directories exist because I tested with the same user. That's okay. And VA sudo because he need the root access. Shift G. I insert mode ANS admin, and it should be no password because with this user we are going to run the playbooks. So while running, it should not prompt for password. So I have created user and added him to the sudoers file. Similar way, we need to create the user on the Tomcat server also, because through the Ansible we are going to deploy on the Tomcat server. So I'm using my key EC2 minus user. I have enabled password-based authentication. If you observe, password-based authentication also. So user add ANS admin. Here also it may say that, yep. And VA sudo Shift G insert mode ANS admin. Okay, we have created a user and added him into the sudoers file. One thing I forgot, that is setting up the password. I have set up the password on the this is Tomcat server. Okay, 75, and this is 68 is Ansible system. So PASSWD ANS admin. I have set up the password as well. Now what we need to do is we need to enable the passwordless authentication in between these two systems. For that I am shifting as a ANS admin, and what I will do is I'm going to generate the key SSH minus key gen. Okay, it's generated. Okay, override, because earlier we have generated. Yes, I want to override. Okay, it has been created. Now copy this key into the target system. SSH copy minus ID onto our target system. This is our target system. So here I'm going to copy it. Okay, it has been added. Let me try whether I can able to log in now without password. Yes, I can able to. and let me execute one of the test playbook. Ansible all minus, sorry, IP address. Okay, before that, let's go and add this IP address onto our host file. va/etc ansible hosts. Oh, it is already there. No need to add, and the group name is web servers. That's fine. Oh, read only access. That's fine. Now ANS Ansible all minus m ping, just testing whether communication is enabled or not. It is successful. So Ansible master to Ansible client, the communication is enabled. So if I open again our PPT, the first step is working fine. Enable passwordless authentication. Next thing is install publish over SSH plugin on the Jenkins. Let's log into Jenkins now. Yeah, this is Jenkins. I'm going to install plugin. The plugin name is publish over SSH. Go to available, search for publish over. Is it installed? Oh, I have installed. It should get restarted. Okay, let me quickly restart it. Until it comes up. Why I have restarted is I was testing it before, so that's why the definitions were not clear. Anyway, meantime, what we will do is we'll move to next step. That is write a playbook to copy jar or WAR file. So I have already written a simple Ansible playbook that is under cd/opt. Under opt we have playbooks directory. Under playbooks directory we have a file called copy file.yml. In this we have a definitions, that is any YAML file starts with three minuses, and next the target systems, nothing but hosts on which systems does it act. We might have seen all or a group of servers. So web servers is a group which we have created under the hosts file. If you see web servers. So what I'm trying to say is please play this playbook on web servers group. Under web servers group, we have one server. It may be 10 servers or 100 servers. On all those systems, this playbook can play. Next, become true means execute all these instructions as a root user. Okay, execute all these instructions as a root user. Next, what are the instructions should I need to execute? This that will be there under task section. This is the task section. Under task section, I'm using a module called copy. For copy, we should have a source and a destination. Source nothing but where is your source file. Destination nothing but where is your destination file. So what I'm going to do to work this playbook is I will copy the var file onto this location. I will copy var file onto this location in the Ansible server. Source nothing but Ansible server location. This is Ansible server location. If you see, if I go to CD, you can see there is already var file which was created some time back. Okay, date if I see, it is created under 1536, nothing but a hour ago. Anyway, we'll execute a new job. Job is going to replace this var file. So this var file we are going to copy into target system onto this location. Target system nothing but this server. This server is Tomcat server. Onto Tomcat server into this location it will get copied. Once it is available in this location, the code whatever is there in this var file under this location, that code will be visible over here. That code will be visible over here. Okay, that is how it works. That is the playbook which I have already written and it is available. I'm going to just execute this playbook through the Jenkins. I don't want to execute from the Ansible server. Jenkins is going to trigger this Ansible playbook. Okay. because Jenkins is a centralized system kind of thing. I'm logging into Jenkins because my previous definitions were not cleared. That's why I have quickly restarted our Jenkins application. Now again go to manage Jenkins, manage plugins, available. This time it should be available. Publish over SSH. You can see here, this is not installed now. Earlier it was installed under definition. I deleted it, but even the definitions were not deleted properly. Now I am installing publish over SSH. Once the installation is done, you need to configure it. Configure nothing but by using publish over SSH, what do you do? Or on which servers you are going to use this one. So our purpose of installing publish over SSH is we want to execute some playbooks onto the target system. Nothing but from Jenkins server, I want to execute Ansible playbooks. So this plugin I need to use for Ansible. So configurations, manage Jenkins, go to system configuration. Here you need to specify the target systems. Nothing but we are giving access to our Jenkins system to do some activities on the target system. Nothing but in this case, I'm giving access to my Jenkins to execute some playbooks on my Ansible server. For that, you can use the key-based authentication, which is not a right way to do, because if you specify key over here, somebody may take it and misuse it. So it is not good way. That's why I'm going to do the SSH servers with the password-based authentication. In our case, the server name I'm just giving for it is like a reference, Ansible, Ansible server, and the host name. I don't want to, I don't have host name, I have IP address. So I'm giving the private IP address because these all are internal in the same VPC or subnet. So it can communicate internally. So there won't be any issue if you use the private IP address. And the username ANS admin, this is what we have created for Ansible and to execute on the target systems also. And we should provide the password also. By default, it won't prompt for password. In the advanced section, if you see, there is a option, use the password based authentication. Choose this option. If you choose, it will ask you the password. I have given the ANS admin password. Once you have specified the password, you can test the connection. Nothing but now your Jenkins server will try to connect to this system and with this username and password and just execute some ping test or test command. It should work. If it working, nothing but communication is established successfully. Whatever information you have provided, everything is correct. If it is not working, there is some problem. Okay. So the configuration is completed successfully. So if I open again our PPT, we have enabled passwordless authentication, installed publish over SSH on the Jenkins and configured, written playbook for the jar or var file copied. Okay, this playbook we need to modify according to where our jar file is going to get copied. In my case, I have already decided to copy my jar file onto which location? Already onto this location. So that's why I don't want to change. If you are copying your file into some other location apart from this, you need to specify that path over here, right? Let's go again back to our, yeah. So now go back to Jenkins. Now I'm going to modify the existing job. This is our previous job, and configure. Under configure, I'm going to remove this one. This is not needed. So now what it will do, it will only take the code and build it. Once the build is happened, whatever artifacts will come, it will sit in the Jenkins itself. But I want to copy those onto the Ansible system. Then only Ansible can copy onto the his client systems. So it is like indirect way, but there are some advantages which we are going to see in the later classes. Oh, sorry, I forgot to explain. In the add post build session, once the build is completed, what should we need to do? Once the build is successful, then send files or execute command over SSH. This will be available if you configure the publish over SSH plugin appropriately. Choose this option. Now SSH server, nothing but, excuse me, what is the target system? We have only one target system, which is Ansible server, which we created. And source, nothing but where is your source file, nothing but var file. Usually var file under current directory there is a web app target. Okay, this is the location. It will be available star.var nothing but the name might be anything which ends with .var. So this is the target location. Let me check it out. I just copied. Yeah. So this is the location. Next one would be the remote directory. Onto the target system, where do you want to copy? Onto target system, I want to copy onto /opt/playbooks. Why I'm giving this location? This should be double because it cannot identify the special character. That's why double slash you need to give. Why I'm giving this location? The var file, whatever is there, it will get copied into this location entire way. Nothing but /opt playbooks /web app /target dot star dot star dot var. Like this it will get created. That's why in my playbook I have given the total path /opt playbooks. It will create a web app target, not create, it should be a exist. Then it will create a web app dot var. Okay, our var file name is web app we have given. Instead of star you can give the web app also, but this is best practice. Next execution command I don't give because immediately you should not give. Next command, what command we need to execute? That is, once the target file it is copied, nothing but into the Ansible, it will be available under this location. Now I want to execute this playbook. To execute this playbook, you need to give the full path, nothing but where is your uh, file is located. This copy file.yml is sitting under /opt playbooks. Then the command would be Ansible playbook /opt playbooks copy file.yml. This is the command you need to execute, but don't give the two different tasks into a single task because it is not advisable. It may not work also. So I'm creating one more publish over SSH that should happen on the Ansible server. Execute this command. That is what I'm doing. Now apply, save it. Right? I have applied, saved. Now if I execute or if I build this job, what should happen? Now new web app.var file will get created that will be copied into the Ansible system. Ansible system got disconnected. I'm relogging into Ansible. So into Ansible system, which location does it get copied? So OPT playbooks. So it is going to get copied into the this location. Okay, why this location? In the job itself it is there, we are copying. So let me go inside to this and just once the job is executed, this timestamp should get changed. Similar way it will happen for the sorry our this is okay, this is our Tomcat server. So it should happen to Tomcat server also. In Tomcat server, which location does it get copied? Again, in the playbook itself, it is there. So in this location, it will get copied. Let me go to in this location, ls minus l. Okay, this is the where it is going to get copied. You can see the timestamp. It is sometime back it get copied. Now let me execute the job. If you were able to understand the previous video properly, this might not be a big issue for you. Okay, anyway, don't worry. If you have any doubts, you can write it in the comments so that I'm going to reply for your doubts. So I'm running this job. Once the job is successfully completed, you can see ls minus l. Still, yeah, now you can see here it has been replaced with the current date because it has been replaced, and code is not changed, so you cannot see the difference. Yeah, timestamp also changed. Now if you see this one, the code is safe, right? And if I go to my Jenkins job, it should be success. If you see here the output, you can see, okay, initially build is successful till here, you know. Next one is connecting to the host. It is connected and transferred a file, nothing but it is copied a file. Then playing nothing but it is executing this playbook. Which playbook? Opt playbooks copy file.yml. It is copied and changed one, unreachable, failed, nothing, right? Now what I will do is we are going to change the code. We are going to change the code. Again, we'll execute this job. This time we can see the latest code get deployed. Just edit it. deploy. Deployment is happening. Deployment is going to happen through what? Through Ansible. Latest code updated. Project-2 example. This is project-2, assuming that this is project-2. So I have updated new code. Okay, I didn't enable poll SCM. That's why I'm going to run this job manually again. Okay, if you don't want to do that one, you can go and enable the poll SCM depending upon your time. Now again, I'm executing. This time I could able to see the latest one, whatever we have given. So before we are going to do that one, I will just show you here also. Now this is not yet updated. First Ansible will get updated, then Tomcat server get updated. Yeah, you can see here latest code has been updated, nothing but var file. Here also latest code has been deployed. Now let me refresh this page. Latest code is available, right? Quite interesting, right? So this is how we can use the Ansible as a deployment tool also, not only configuration management. To addition this one, we can do one more thing. What we can do is you can have only plain system, target system. If you see this Tomcat server, I have already installed a Tomcat. Instead of taking the already installed Tomcat server, you can take a plain system and write a playbook which can install Tomcat on the server whenever you execute this playbook. Then what you can do is you can add one more rule here, nothing but one more job here under configuration SSH. Before what I can say in this, before executing this playbook, you can add one more SSH server onto the Tomcat server. Execute one more playbook from the Ansible itself. That you can do, or you can take it as an assignment and do it. I'm not going to do that task because I'm moving to next level. That is where I'm going to deploy this time with the Tomcat and this var file together on a Docker container. Okay, in next video I am going to deploy this var file on the Tomcat Docker container. I don't take anything. It should create a Docker container whenever I execute. Nothing but first we need to write a Docker file. From the Docker file, it should create a Docker image. Docker image through it is going to create a Docker container, right? Hope this video helps you, and please practice. If you are able to successfully complete this lab, means you are in a good situation to answer most of the questions in the interview, right? Hope you enjoyed this session, and I will see you in the next session. Thank you, and if you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also share with your friends if you feel that it is useful. Okay, thank you and see you in next video.